Welcome to this video about distributing the Breakout Groups page URL to your meeting attendees. Firstly, we will look at where to find the URL if you've already created a meeting, but also how to predict what it will be even if you've not yet created the meeting. If you've already created a meeting, then you'll find the URL at the top of the Breakout Groups page for the meeting. First, go to your Study Control panel and click Results. Then click the button at the bottom of the page to take you to your View Meetings page. Next, click on Go to go to your Meeting Control panel. Then click on either Configure Breakouts or Finalize Breakouts to go to your Breakout Groups page. The URL is in the box with a thick outline at the top of the page. Notice that the URL consists of a web page address with a query string, the ID part. It is the ID part which is different depending on which meeting you are dealing with. Even if you've not yet created the meeting, you can predict what the URL will be beforehand if you want to prepare in advance how you want to communicate it to your attendees during the meeting. The ID part you will recognise is the same as on the end of the URL you sent to your attendees to sort the ideas. The URL itself is just the website address /breakouts/groups.php?id and the equals sign. There are three things to consider before you communicate the Breakout Groups page URL to people. Firstly, if you email it out to everyone, whether or not they attend, then bear in mind that this will mean they can access the Breakout Groups page remotely, even if they are not at the meeting. Secondly, however, if you've decided to provisionally configure the Breakout Groups in advance, you, as study owner and meeting owner, can freeze the Breakout Groups, preventing any input to the groups before the meeting. But do remember you need to unfreeze them to allow input during the meeting. Thirdly, while the groups are unfrozen, in theory, anyone who knows the Breakout Groups URL could edit them in the same way as any attendee at the meeting can do. We recommend that you distribute the Breakout Groups URL by doing the following. First, after you've chosen the number of groups, after the idea sorting, create a meeting that provisionally has that number of groups. You can reconfigure it later. What this means is you will have access to the Create a PDF of URL Slips button. Secondly, use the Create a PDF of URL Slips button on the Groups page for your meeting to generate a PDF which has the Groups page URL on it, ready to be printed out and cut up into slips of paper. We recommend you hand one URL slip to each group once they've convened as a group to discuss their ideas. Note that in this PDF there is also another set of URLs for another optional activity, a networking activity, which we will describe in another video. Set those aside and be careful not to hand out the wrong URL. Make sure you use the Breakout Groups page URL slips for the Breakout Groups activity.